my blood, with every breath in my lungs. Won't stop until I'm phenomenal.
What is up, phenomenal fans? I am back at it again with another video. I just got done watching Backlash 2020. I'm here to provide my reactions for it. Was Edge vs. Orton the greatest wrestling match ever? Did Bobby Lashley win the WWE title? Did Nia Jax win the Raw Women's title? Let's find out. Here comes my Backlash 2020 reactions. So I couldn't catch the kickoff match, so I'm not going to provide a rating or my reaction to it because I didn't actually watch the match. But I did see like the replay of it or whatever. Apollo Crews won. He defeated Andrade to retain his United States title. You know, Angel Garza was at ringside. Kevin Owens was on commentary. He hit Angel Garza with a stunner. Crews did a spin-out powerbomb. That's all I know. 1, 2, 3. Apollo Crews retains. And we start off the main card with the triple threat women's tag team title match. And finally, I know they did it on NXT, and I know every once in a while on Raw and SmackDown they do it, but for these triple threat and fatal four-way tag team matches, I hate it when they have two single competitors in the match when it's a multi-team match. So you at least have one team on the apron with no representatives, and it's just dumb. Sorry for that. I'm in my garage. My fridge is going off. People are firing fireworks. It's all crazy. But anyways, so we have one person from each team in this match, so finally they get good rules. Thank you. Keep with that. Just keep with it, please. And so the action, it probably didn't even go 10 minutes. It was, you know, it was fine action. It wasn't anything too crazy to write home about. It wasn't the greatest wrestling match ever or anything, but it was good. Peyton Royce, she kind of tried to channel her inner Big E. There was two people, I forget who exactly was on the apron, but Peyton Royce kind of just runs to the side, and they all just kind of fall through the ropes. There's people on the outside, they're on the apron, Peyton Royce is going through the ropes. So it's kind of like a little Big E Suicide Spear thing. It was nowhere near as good. It looked really clumsy, but it was something. But in the end, Alexa Bliss hit Twisted Bliss. Sasha Banks rolls in and steals the cover, which is, again, another benefit of having three legal people at once. Sasha came in, stole the cover. 1, 2, 3. Sasha Banks and Bayley retain the women's tag titles. Fine action. Nothing too good. Nothing bad. Good stuff. Next up to the feud that's all about car accidents, drug overdoses, and splashing urine in people's faces. It's the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy, still with no more words, going up against Sheamus. And this match, it was actually really good. It's kind of what you wanted from this match. It was hard-hitting, it was brutal, and right before this match, they advertised Extreme Rules coming up like July 19th, I think. So I'm like, okay, however the finish happens, whether it's a roll-up, whether it's a heel victory, whatever it may be, this feud's going to end at Extreme Rules, where Jeff Hardy comes out on top in like probably an Extreme Rules match or some other stipulation match, so there's that. But anyways, let's review the action. In this match, Sheamus, he had a nice move. He had Jeff up for like a front suplex, kind of slammed him into the big giant post thing. He sounded horrible. He like hit his knees. The impact sounded horrible. And then Sheamus went for a bro kick. Hardy ducks it into a sort of a sling blade. When do you see that from Jeff? I know we've probably seen it before, but I haven't seen it in a while. Jeff Hardy sling blade out of nowhere. And then Jeff Hardy, he's looking for the end. Twist of fate from Jeff Hardy. Swanton bomb. As Sheamus, Jeff Hardy, he went up to the top to go for the Swanton. Sheamus, he's crawling in position. As Jeff Hardy's going up, he's still moving into position. Jeff Hardy hits the Swanton. 1, 2. Sheamus gets his foot on the bottom rope. So the action spills to the outside. Sheamus is on the outside. Jeff is walking the barricade. He's using the plexiglass to help him. Jeff walks the barricade. He jumps off the barricade. I don't know where. Sheamus bro kick. Sheamus rolls him back into the ring. Another bro kick. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus defeats Jeff Hardy. And then Jeff Hardy, he's sitting there contemplating the loss, which that means feud will continue. Jeff Hardy, don't worry, guys. Don't hate on him for letting Jeff Hardy lose the feud, because the feud's not over. Jeff Hardy's going to get his revenge at Extreme Rules, probably in an Extreme Rules match, because Sheamus will probably come out and be like, oh, I beat Jeff Hardy, he's too drugged, blah, blah, blah. He splashed pee in my face. Something like that. And we're going to set up for probably an Extreme Rules match, but nonetheless, Sheamus gets the win here. Next up, probably the least exciting match on the card to say. Asuka defending the Raw Women's title against Nia Jax. Nia Jax, she didn't injure Asuka. She didn't botch. She didn't injure Asuka. Hallelujah. The match didn't even go 10 minutes and had a screwy finish, but hallelujah anyways. It was actually a decent match. It wasn't good. It wasn't like, ooh, I'm gonna watch that again. But it wasn't like, it's horrible. It was decent action. Nia, she had a nice sit-out powerbomb. Nice, like, back and forth going for the submission stuff. So Asuka, she's channeling her inner Alberto Del Rio. She's got the armbar locked in over the ropes. They both spill to the outside. She does a little nice, neat little armbar. Like how you've seen it before, when she jumps, flips through, rolls into the armbar. Nia picks her up, looking for a powerbomb. Next thing you know, 9, 10, they're counted out. Match goes less than 10 minutes, double count out. So yay, we're gonna get more Asuka and Nia Jax. Woohoo! I'm assuming this is one of the matches Vince changed since Paul Heyman's not in charge anymore. But double count out. Woo! Next up, Braun Strowman's out for revenge. He's out for revenge for Kayla Braxton. He's here to help her after she got slimed. It's the Miz and John Morrison challenging Braun Strowman in a 2-on-1 handicap match for the Universal Championship. So we actually start things off. We're going to finally get the pay-per-view, the TV debut, however you want to word it. We're finally going to get the WWE TV debut of the Miz and John Morrison's new hit song, Hey, 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 Ho, Ho, do something, something, champions gotta go. I forget how it goes. It's another banger, of course. But of course, again, Braun Strowman. He let it go a little bit longer. We got to the main line of, Hey, 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 Ho, Ho, Braun Strowman's gotta go, or something like that. I know I didn't get it right. Don't bash me in the comments. But anyways, again, Braun Strowman, he won't let us listen to it, even though it's on social media. But let us listen to it. Braun Strowman, he interrupts the music video again. So we got us get another short match, because all the time's going towards the greatest wrestling match ever. But quick action, Miz and Morrison, they're actually being smart, you know. Quick tags, hitting Braun Strowman, distracting him, attacking him from behind. They're doing it all with Braun Strowman. He's fighting it off. He's throwing him out of the ring. Miz hits like a wrecking ball dropkick. Morrison a corkscrew plancha. They almost get it. But then in the end, I don't think they've done it before. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they've done it before, but it was like a nice springboard dropkick, foot stomp, whatever you want to call it, and a skull-crushing finale combo. Woohoo, Miz and Morrison, they're going to win the Universal title. 1, 2. I don't know where Miz pulls Morrison off, because they're on commentary talking about, oh, whoever gets the cover is the Universal Champion. So we're going to get dissension, unfortunately. So Miz pulls Morrison off, and then he's like, oh, no, you're right. Get back onto the cover. Puts Morrison back on for the cover. 1, 2, Strowman kicks out. So Strowman, he hits a choke slam on Miz, running power slam on Morrison. 1, 2, 3. The Yorg Master, Braun Strowman, retains the title. And we've now got ourselves back-to-back world title matches. It's Drew McIntyre. McIntyre, he's defending his WWE title against the almighty Bobby Lashley with MVP at ringside, which I like. But before the match, Lashley, he locks in his dangerous full Nelson, the master lock. He locks it in on McIntyre. He's got it in for probably about 30-45 seconds, and then the referees pull him off. And something that's good WWE's doing, they kind of scared me before this match because, you know, Bobby Lashley is a big, meaty guy. He's a guy that's been there for a while and never got a big WWE title run. Apparently, they want to have Lashley versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. Lesnar will compete without the title. So I was a little bit scared. I was like, oh my god, they're going to do it. Lashley's going to win the title. He's going to face Lesnar, and then Lesnar will beat Lashley, and then McIntyre, he'll beat Lesnar in front of a crowd, and we'll be back to square one. So let's just see how that all turned out. And what a first thing to talk about. A botch. Not one, but 2 botches. So Lashley, throughout the weeks on Raw, he'd be doing this move where he picks his opponent up in the fireman's carry and, like, slams him into the ring post. Well, they went for that on McIntyre. He sort of just, like, threw McIntyre because they weren't in position. They're going to make it look awkward either way. So let's just heave McIntyre over, get a couple ground punches on, pick him back up, and do the move again. And there's sort of another botch. They're still at ringside. It's about like a minute after this first botch. Lashley looks like he's going for a spear through the barricade. McIntyre, he goes for a spot where he's going to throw him over the barricade into like the timekeeper's area or whatever. But Lashley, he doesn't go over. I guess that kind of looks a little bit more brutal because he like threw him into the edge of it. But another botch. Woo! And then nice stuff here. McIntyre, he's going for the diving double axe handle. Lashley catches him in a crossface. Real stuff you don't ever see. So he's got him in the crossface for a minute. And then Lesnar goes, not Lesnar. See, the move I'm about to say, you're going to understand why I said Lesnar. McIntyre, he locks him in a Kimura lock. And Samoa Joe does a great thing on commentary, talking about how McIntyre, he never goes to a submission game. So, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. McIntyre locks in a Kimura lock. And then more submissions. McIntyre, he's going for a tombstone pile driver of all moves. I thought they were about to botch this again, but McIntyre, he's going for a flippin' tombstone. Lashley counters it into an ankle lock. And then I said I was scared going into this match. We had one near fall that really got me. McIntyre, he went for the Claymore. Lashley turns it into a very devastating spear. 1, 2, and for a split second I was like, oh god, Lashley's the champion. But no, McIntyre, our hero, he fights for us, and he kicks out at 2. And in the end, of course, Lana comes out. She's got to ruin everything. She gets on the apron. Lashley's arguing with her. McIntyre ends up headbutting Lashley, or he does some sort of move to him, whatever it was. Anyways, Lashley gets knocked into Lana. Lana falls out on MVP. McIntyre takes advantage. Claymore, 1, 2, 3. McIntyre wins. Nice protected move. 1 Claymore it took to beat Lashley. I like that. But Claymore, McIntyre retains the title. In our next match, we're finally going to get to the end of the whatever you can do, we can do better rivalry. We've seen bowling, we've seen golf, we've seen archery, we've seen axe throwing, we've seen the Olympics, we've seen it all. Now, these professional wrestling tag teams are going to do this weird thing that we never think they'd do. Wrestle in a tag team match. We're going to see it for the Raw tag team titles. But wait, no we're not. Here comes some more cinematic wrestling. So if you see a lot of camera cuts or me looking at my notes, I'm sorry, because there's a lot to pack into the cinematic thing. That's what we're going to call it, just a thing. So we're starting things off. Commentators are like, oh, we're going to get the Viking Raiders, Street Profits, blah, 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 for the Raw Tag Team titles. Next thing you know, we see them fighting in the parking lot. You guys were friends. You united on Raw. You guys are frenemies, whatever. But now they're fighting in the parking lot. They're by Braun Strowman's car that just always gets destroyed. We saw a hip toss. I don't know who did it to who. I'm sorry. But we see a hip toss on Braun's windshield. It gets broken again. Sorry, Braun. Then we get a callback to when they did sports instead of wrestling. Viking Raiders, they got shields. Street Profits, they got golf clubs. They're about to beat each other with their weapons. And they realize, okay, let's settle this like men. So they very slowly... Ivar's got a bowling ball, by the way. So drop the bowling ball, drop the shield, drop the golf clubs, and let's fight like men. And that's what they do for a minute. Then Ivar, he's got this nice, beautiful green bowling ball. And I'm a bowler, so I kind of, like, understand lots of this stuff. He's got a nice, green, beautiful bowling ball. He's getting flashbacks when he was bowling strikes. He's doing it backwards. He's sliding down the lanes. He's just getting flashbacks to bowling strikes like I do. Sort of. But anyways, he's getting flashbacks. He's bowling strikes. It's all this stuff. And Montez Ford is sitting there like that one Street Fighter. It was like John Cena and Del Rio. He's sitting there with his legs nice and wide open. And Ivar, he bowls a strike right into Montez Ford. You know where it goes. Obviously, they use camera cuts, but you know what happened. Then we start to actually see, like, some proper physicality and some, like, OMG moments. Angelo Dawkins, a spear through a window. I'm sure they probably use fake glass, or they faked their way about it somehow. But still, look brutal, because, you know, the glass getting shattered. Angelo Dawkins spears Ivar through the window, and we're like, okay, these two are just killing each other. Next thing you know, it gets even weirder. We see about 9 to 10 guys pull up on a motorcycle. The main guy in the motorcycle pulls his mask off. And who is it? Who's the returning star? It's Akira Tozawa. Of course it's Akira Tozawa. Why not? Let's just add some more randomness. So Akira Tozawa, he's a ninja. I guess it makes sense because, you know, like, Japanese heritage, he's a ninja, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of like his in-ring style and stuff. But Akira Tozawa, he's got a cult of ninjas, so this is going to be fun. And so they unite, the Viking Raiders with their turkey legs, the Street Profits with their solo cups. They unite, and the Viking Profits are formed. They fight off the ninja people, the Viking Raiders. They're up on, like, a car. They're slamming people with their windshield. The Street Profits are hitting the ninjas with their solo cups. The Viking Profits are going to become the most dominant stable. Screw Evolution, screw DX, screw the NWO. It's all about the Viking Profits for the next, like, 2 minutes. So then all of his ninjas are down. Tozawa, he's desperate. It's 4-on-1. He's about to get destroyed by the greatest faction of all of WWE history. Until this big boy, I read it was like a 7'3" performance center training guy. I forget what his name is. But he's a 7'3" huge man who's about to destroy the Viking Profits. And then Ivar, because this is wrestling now, 2020, uses his telekinesis. He pulls his turkey leg, and they defeat Tozawa. And then the saddest and the most emotional breakup of all time, the Viking Profits are no more. The greatest rivalry of the century, it continues. They're fighting in the parking lot. Next thing you know, Angelo Dawkins and Eric, just Eric, or Ro, whoever you want to call him, they go flying in a dumpster, and then we get Montez Ford. I keep forgetting their names. We get Montez Ford, he gets thrown in the dumpster, and then Ivar's like, Ivar, does a huge swanton bomb into the dumpster, so now you got all 4 of them, they're just laying in a dumpster. And then all of a sudden we get flashback to just... It's just bullying. It's horrible. We get a flashback to, like, every time when whoever it was, whether it be, like, the golfing attendant or the bowling alley lady, whoever it may be, that comes up once the Vikings and the Profits to get in trouble, and they're like, you know, you did a bad thing here, but we're going to let you off the hook, because Ivar, you're cute. You, not so much. You know how it goes. Poor Eric. Ivar's just getting all the lady love. And then the referee, I forget what her name is, but the female referee, she comes in, she's like, what are you guys doing? Your match is next. But it's okay, and you know where this is going. Because you're cute. You, not so much. Poor Eric. Let's all send our love for Eric. Hashtag love for Eric 2020. I know Ivar's a cute guy and all, again, no homo. But just equal love, man, equal love. But anyways, so the match gets called off, and we go from this to the greatest wrestling match ever. We're going to the olden days. We got the old school MSG microphone set. We took a nice thing. We should probably, like, be all serious for a minute. They added Howard Finkel's voice. The late, great Howard Finkel. Rest in peace, my dude. But they added Howard Finkel's voice, which was a nice touch. But they have the old school MSG, like the 80s microphone setup. Charles Robinson, the referee, he's wearing an old school blue, like, shirt thingy with the black bow tie. It's just proper old school. And they're adding in Howard Finkel's voice. It's just... They took advantage of it. It got a laugh out of me, not gonna lie. Let's get to the action. Will it be better than Undertaker Michaels, Rock Cena, Austin Hart? Will this be the greatest wrestling match ever? Well, whether it is or not, to WWE it's gonna be, because they're gonna tell us that for the next 2 months. So all jokes aside, I know we all joke about the fact that they're like, oh, this is going to be the greatest wrestling match ever, and they got the greatest showman theme, and they're just hyping it up as the greatest wrestling match ever when Edge hasn't straight up wrestled in 9 years. It's an empty arena match. Like, we all know it's not going to be the greatest wrestling match ever, but all jokes aside, this match was actually fantastic. It is genuinely one of the best matches. I'm not joking. If you haven't seen it, it's 45 minutes long, something like that, and it's actually good. Please go watch it. So again, I don't have like a bunch of notes on like, oh, crazy spot here, OMG moment there, but it was just a lovely wrestling match. There were no flips, there were no super kicks. It wasn't like a 2020, 2019, or whatever you want to call it, style match. It wasn't like, you know, flips and counters and moves and all this stuff. It was just like a proper wrestling match. It's an Orton match, and I don't even think we saw that many side headlocks. It was genuinely just a good match. The pace was solid. It was just good. If anything, it was great. But Orton hits an angle slam. Edge hits a kill switch. Orton, he hit a pedigree. The Edge pulled out a rock bottom. It looks like Edge is going for a sharpshooter, but again, Edge doesn't have a submission in his game, so that's fun. Then Orton, he hits a lovely RKO. It's kind of out of nowhere because you're just back and forth you're wrestling, and then bang, RKO. And then Edge hits not one, but 2 spears. 1, 2, no, we're like 40 minutes in, and Orton kicks out of 2 spears. Then Edge, he's going up to the second rope, he's looking for like a crossbody, but of course, you gotta get an RKO out of nowhere from midair. Then in the end, and they're just like exchanging wrestling moves back and forth, they're going to the top, they're doing stuff out of nowhere, and if you haven't seen the match, spoiler alert, Randy Orton hits a punt kick. Again, the punt kick. I know it's shocking, I can't even really express my feelings. He just, pow! It was a punt kick in 2020 to Edge of all people. We haven't seen that move in 9 years. It's been banned for almost a decade. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton pins Edge in what was the greatest wrestling match ever. Not gonna lie, bold statement here. That match was a top 5 match of all time. I'm sorry. We just watched one of the best matches ever between Edge and Randy Orton. Edge, he hasn't wrestled a normal match in 9 years. Orton, he's not a 5-star machine. He, you know, does side headlocks, and he does slow, methodical offense. And I know they kind of cheated because they pre-filmed it all, and they probably botched some moves. I mean, in real life, Edge, he tore his tricep, and for God's sake. But it was amazing. I thank you guys all for watching. I don't even know what to say for the outro. I'm still just shocked over the punt kick. But I thank you guys for watching. How did you enjoy Backlash? Was that the greatest wrestling match ever? Tell me in the comments below. Tell me how you felt about the other matches. And I thank you guys for watching.